Hi students, welcome to the Mission Learning course. In this lecture, I would like to discuss about random forest algorithm. Before going to know about the random forest algorithm, first of all we have to recall the decision tree. Why? Because the decision tree concept which is used in the random forest algorithm. Here the decision tree is the one of the supervised machine learning algorithm, as it is a supervised machine learning algorithm which can be used for both classification and regression problems. Here the decision tree is a tree-like structure which is mainly contains the two nodes. One is the decision node and second one is the leaf node. Here the decision node which is contains the features of the data set and the decision node which is used for making the decisions and which gives the more branches for a tree. Here the each branch which gives the decision rule, and the very first decision node is nothing but the root node, and the root node which contains the complete data set. And here the leaf node which contains the outcome of the predicted variable. And finally the decision tree which is works like a if and else statements. Here our complete decision tree we can build based on the selection of the best feature or the best attribute as a decision node. So we have to look after to select the best attribute. For this selection of the best attribute, we are using the ASM. Here the ASM which means attribute selection measure. Under this attribute selection measure, we are using the two techniques. One is the information gain and second one is the Gini index. Here information gain which gives the measurement of the changes of the entropy after the segmentation of the data set based on the attribute, and here the entropy which gives the randomness in a data, and here the Gini index which gives the purity or the impurity of the attribute which is used in the decision tree and which is created in the algorithm. Based on these measures, we are select the best decision node for our further splitting of the decision tree. This is nothing but the decision tree. And now let's see one example. With that example, we can easily understand how the decision tree works. Here this is our data set. The data set which contains the combination of zeros and ones as a data points, and the data set which contains the attributes are the color and underline. Based on these features, we are construct the decision tree. Here color is the color attribute which contains the blue color and the red color, and another feature is the underline. Okay, first here I am dividing split the tree based on the color attribute. Why? Because the color attribute which gives the best split in my view. So here I am selecting the color, so I am asking the question which color. Okay, here if it is the red color, then the red color data points come to the S branch. If it is not a red color, then the not red color points are coming to the no branch. And again we have to see here the all are the 0 points, so we need not to again split in no branch. And in S branch we have the combination of the ones and 0. Again we have to select the best features for splitting of these two different data points. So here our feature is the underline. So here I am asking the question, is these data points come under underline or not? If the data points come under underline, then those points are assigned to the S branch. If those data points not come under the underline, then those points are assigned to the no branch of this underline feature, underline decision node. So here in S branch we have all the ones, in no branch we have the zeros. So finally our classification is done, means the one class is zeros and another class is ones. In this way the decision tree classifies the given data set into different categories. In this way the decision tree works. Now let's see random forest. Here the random forest is one of the supervised supervised learning technique, as it is a supervised learning technique which can be used for both classification and regression problems. And the random forest algorithm is one of the ensemble technique bagging algorithm. As it is a bagging algorithm, the random forest maintains the forest of the different decision trees, and it makes the predictions on different decision trees, and finally collects all the predictions and apply the averaging method or the majority voting classifier for finding the optimal prediction for our final model. This is nothing but the random forest. Means here the random forest makes the forest of the decision trees and finally take the all predictions of the decision trees as a average for our final model. This is nothing but the random forest. Now let's see how the random forest algorithm works. Here the random forest algorithm works in different steps. In the very first step, as it is a bagging algorithm, here we have to divide the given data set into different subsets of the random samples. So here in the very first step, we have to select the m number of random samples from the t number of samples. Here the t is the total number of data points or the total number of features in a given data set. Out of those total number of features, here we have to select the randomly m number of features, and here the condition is m less than t, means the random number of features which are does not exceed the total number of features of the data set. After selection of the random number of samples from the total number of samples, then we have to go for the next step. In this step, we have to select the best split node, that is nothing but the decision node, for further splitting of a tree. Out of this node is selected out of the m selected random samples from the total number of samples. Means, for example, if I am select the 3 random samples, then I have to split the tree for these 3 samples. After selecting the best split node, next we have to go for the third step. In this step, we have to split that selected decision node into 2 daughters or the 2 children. Why? Because as we know, for a given root node, we can select as many nodes we want. But here we have to split only 2 nodes. Why? Because this is the classification problem. Here we get the answers like yes or no, or true or false, or this one or that one. That's why here we have to split the selected decision node into only 2 daughters. After splitting the nodes, we have to repeat all these 3 steps until we get the leaf nodes of a tree. Means the nodes which are not further divided. After getting the one decision tree, we have to repeat all the 4 steps. Why? Because up to this 4th step we get only one decision tree. So as it is a random forest, we have to construct the number of decision trees. So we have, for construction of the number of decision trees, we have to repeat all these 4 steps until we get our limit of the decision trees for our model. Here D is the limit of the number of decision trees. After completion of all the decision nodes for our model, finally we are make the predictions for all the decision trees, and then we are apply the maximum voting classifier or the average method for finding the better accurate predictor result for our final model, which is done in our 6th step. In this way, the random forest algorithm works. Now let's see in diagrammatically. Here this is the data set which is divided into some subsets with the m random selected features from the out of the t features. Here each subset of the features we are applying the decision tree. Here this is the tree 1, and on sample 2 we are apply the descent tree 2, and on sample 3 and we are construct the descent tree 3, and sample 4 we are constructed the one more descent tree. After completion of the construction of all the descent tree, we have to make the predictions, and after predictions we have to collect the all the predicted values of the all the descent trees. Here the descent tree 1 which gives the result as class C, and the descent tree 2 which gives the class D, and the descent tree 3 which gives the class B, and the descent tree 4 which gives the class C. Out of these predicted values we get the maximum predicted value is class C. So by applying when we are applying the majority voting on these predicted values, we get the class C as the predicted value for our final model. Why? Because here the class C get the majority voting. In this way the descent tree is work by using these steps. Now let's see one example. Okay, by using this example we are easily understand how the random forest algorithm works. Here I am considering the one data set, the data set which contains the weather condition or the weather information related to 14 days from D1 to D14 here, and these are the attributes. Here the outlook, humidity and wind are the attributes which are gives the weather condition for its particular day, and here the play is the another variable which is the target variable which gives the game is done or not on a particular day. This is our data set, and here our main goal is here we have to find on a particular weather condition if the game will be play or not, and the given conditions are the outlook is equal to rain and humidity is equal to high and the wind is very weak. Here we have to find that day the play was done or not. So now let's see how to use the random forest for finding out our solution for our problem. Here first, as it is a bagging algorithm, in the very first step we have to divide the given data set into number of subsets with the random samples. Here I am dividing some subset of the random samples. Here I am taking the two subsets. One subset is from D1 to D3, and the second subset is D3 to D6, and the third subset is D7 to D9. By using three subsets I will make the forest for a random forest, and here the selected subsets are maybe overlap. Why? Because for division of these subsets we are using the bootstrap method, as it is a bagging model. According to the bootstrap method, here the samples may become multiple times as we are using the row sample replacement. Now let's see. Here I am considering the three subsets of the data set. Here the first subset is from D1 to D3, and the second subset is D3 to D6, and the third subset is D7 to D9. First I am considering my first subset, that is from D1 to D3. Okay. Now I want to make a descent tree on this randomly selected subset. See, if the outlook is the overcast, if it is a overcast on a particular day, then here it is a possible to play. So if it is a overcast, then there is a play instance was occurred. If it is a not, again we have to take the second most probable attribute. Here second most probable attribute is the wind. So here we have to take the decision based on the wind attribute. Okay, if the wind is weak, then there is a chance to play. If the wind is strong, then there is no chance to play. Okay, the final prediction for this tree is the play. Why? Because there is a ratio between play and no play is 2:1. So here the play which gets the more voting. That's why we are taking the play as the final prediction for this dysentery. After completion of the first dysentery, next I am going for the next data set, next subset of the data set, and I will make the another dysentery. Here this is my second subset of the data set, and from D3 to D6. Here if the outlook as the overcast, if it is the overcast, then it will, if there is a chance to play, and if it is not a overcast, then again we have to check with the humidity. Why? Because humidity is the second probable attribute for splitting or best splitting of a dysentery. So here I am taking the second decision node as the humidity. If the based on this humidity we will take the decisions. Okay, if the humidity is high, then we have to check with the wind. If the wind is weak, then there is a chance to play. If the wind is strong, there is no chance to play. Okay, after completion of this branch, we have to go for check with the humidity with the normal. If the humidity is normal, then we are check with the wind. If the wind is very weak, there is a chance to play. If the humidity is strong, then there is no chance to play. After completion of the tree, then we make the prediction. As a prediction, the final outcome of this dysentery is the play. Why? Because there is a ratio between play and no play is the 3:1. That's why the outcome of this tree is the play. Okay, the next we have to consider the another dysentery on the my final data subset of the data set. Here the final subset of the data set is the D7 to D9. On this I have to construct the dysentery again. Here first the outlook is a overcast. Then if it is a yes, there is a chance to play. If no, then there we have to check with the another most probable attribute, that is the humidity. If the humidity is high, then there is no chance to play. If the humidity is normal, then there is a chance to play. So, and the final outcome of this tree is the play. Why? Because the ratio between the play and no play is 2:1. So, the final outcome of this tree is play. Okay, after completion of all the predictions of the dysentery, then we have to apply the voting classifier or the averaging method. If I am applying the voting classifier, which gives the final prediction as a play for our final model. This is how the random forest algorithm works. Now let's see what is the mathematics behind the random forest algorithm. Okay, as we know, the random forest algorithm, which is used for both regression and classification problems, if we are using the random forest algorithm in regression problems, the random forest will calculate the mean squared error value, mean squared error between the each node and predicted correct value of the tree, and which decides the selected branch node is the better for a tree or not. Here for finding the mean squared error, we are using this formula. Here it is the 1 by total number of data points and sum of the squares of fi minus yi. Here the fi, which is nothing but which is value written by the tree, and here yi is the actual value of the data point, which is from our data set, and this is we are using for our regression model. And now we are see why we are using the random forest in classification problem. If the random forest used in the classification problem, which is find the Gini index and entropy. Here the Gini index, which gives the purity or the impurity of a attribute or selected attribute in a constructed tree. And the finding the Gini index, we are using the formula 1 minus summation of, here the pi is the relative frequency of the class you are observing in the data set, means which is gives the related frequency class value. Then we are applying the sum of squares of that point we have here we have to calculate, and then here the C is the total number of classes for our problem. And next we are finding the entropy. Here the entropy which gives the randomness of your data, means how our selected variable which contains the how much purity or the how much impurity. For that we are using the formula sigma I is equal to 1 up to C. Here the C is the total number of classes for our problem. Here the Pi is the frequency of the class value. Okay, this is the formula we are using for finding the purity or impurity of the selected attribute for our decision tree. These are the formulas which are used for finding the best attribute in our tree for the best split of a tree. Okay, this is the formulas the random forest algorithm uses. Next we will see the some of the features of the random forest algorithm. The very first feature of the random forest algorithm is this is the most accurate learning algorithm. Why? Because compared to all algorithms, the random forest algorithm is the accurate learning algorithm. Why? Because which is reduce the high variance by applying the averaging method. That's why which is the most accurate learning algorithm compared to the remaining all algorithms. The next feature is it works well for both classification and regression problems. This is the only algorithm equally work for both the classification and regression problems. And the next is it runs very efficiently on large database. As its scalability nature, it can work on both huge amount of data sets, and it can also work on less amount of data sets very effectively, and it gives the very accurate results. And next feature is it requires almost no input preparation, which means here the random forest algorithm contains some of the implicit methods. By using these implicit methods, it can automatically remove the noise in different stages of the input preparation. So here not to focus on preparation of the input. And the next feature is it performs implicit feature selection. Here we are constructing hundreds or thousands of the trees for making the random forest. While making the number of decision trees, it automatically selects the required features for construction of the decision trees. And here another feature is it can be easily grown in parallelly. Here we are constructing different number of decision trees. So here we are constructing the hundreds or thousands of decision trees in parallelly. So when we are constructing the parallelly, they are not depending on each other. Means the output of the one decision tree not given to the input as the another decision tree. Means here there is no dependency. So there is no dependency. The trees are we can construct more trees based on our requirement without any intervention between any trees. Applications of the random forest algorithm. The first application is banking. In banking, the random forest algorithm is used for identification of the loyal customers, which means the customers who are capable to take the more number of loans, and they are successfully giving the interest to the bank within a time. And also which is used for identification of the fraud customers, means the customers are delayed to pay the interest, or totally are not paying the interest to the banks. For that they are taking some dangerous actions. For that purpose, the random forest algorithm is used in the banking sector. The next application is medicine. In this also the random forest algorithm which is used for patient ill prediction, and which is also used for the particular medicine or the particular medical components provided for that particular ill patient. And the next application is e-commerce. In e-commerce also the random forest algorithm is used for identification of the customer behavior based on the recommended products, which is which is find based on the experience of the similar customers. And the next application is stock market. In stock market also, the random forest which is used to identify the stock behavior and which is also gives the expectation profit or the loss of that particular day stock sales. And the next is these are the textbooks which are prescribed in your syllabus, and these are the reference textbooks which are given in your syllabus for getting the more knowledge on your subject. And then these are the references which are used in this PPT for preparation of this content. Thank you.